Yeah, you'll be able to see it off your side in a few minutes.
Hey
Actually, you
folks,
can
it's
probably see it now.
Paul
It's at
from Paul
Highway
Flies.
Ribbon.
Today I have a video for you from the Grand Canyon. We spent the month of March in Arizona, and I had the opportunity to fly a few times while we were there. In this flight, we rented a Cirrus SR-22 and an instructor from Scottsdale Executive Aviation. We took off from Scottsdale, Arizona, and we flew over Sedona up to the Grand Canyon. So I've filmed most of the flight. Unfortunately, I had some issues with the takeoff where I wasn't recording. So I pick up right before Sedona in the video. We fly over Sedona, and then I'm going to compress the video until we get to the Grand Canyon, which was about another half hour.
Your ears doing okay,
and
Nancy?
beyond that, we flew over the Grand Canyon, turned around, flew back, and landed at the Grand Canyon Airport. I did get that landing on video. It's been a while since I've flown a 22. I've mainly been flying in 20s. There's not a lot of difference other than a lot more power, and the method of landing is a little bit different in that you maintain power until you're almost off the runway. The landing here went pretty well, but I'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to that point in the video.
Yeah, it's nice to have that kind of power where you can keep climbing at 120 knots. See, this is a really good sweet spot. If I had the money and I wanted to own one, this is a good spot. I don't think I'd go turbo.
Yeah.
Just because I have if I were going up to like Grand Canyon all the time, or Colorado, or stuff like that, or Flagstaff, the turbo is a really good airplane to have. Or even I'd probably go
here
for.
I would think you'd want.
I'd go for a turbo normalized. I think over the turbo though. I think you get. I haven't flown the turbo normalized a ton just because it's kind of an odd duck, but I think you get better fuel burn. So just because you don't have the forced induction.
Is it turbo normalized? Is it still the same though? You just basically firewall the throttle and the climbs and stuff? Or you have to,
I don't even. I've only been in that plane once because nobody flies it. So everybody wants the turbo because the turbo sounds cool.
So aside from the riveting conversation about airplanes here, you can see that we're coming up on Sedona. You can see the characteristic red rocks and the great scenery. Pardon the bug smashes on the windshield. The airplane was flown in the morning, and being new at this, I didn't think to have it cleaned off before we took
Without
off.
the barometrically compensated, it's just lean as you go.
Okay.
Oh yeah. This is too rich to begin with anyway at sea level. So.
Okay, I haven't got my fuel change alert, but I'm going to change anyways.
Yeah, I'm seeing a slight imbalance, about 10 gallons.
Yeah.
So that's all right.
What I was doing here was switching fuel tanks. The Cirrus has 2 tanks, one located in each wing, and you draw from one tank at a time to run the engine. If you spend too long drawing from one tank versus the other, then the load on the wings can become unbalanced. So we switch back and forth during the flight.
We're flying over Sedona right now.
Might grab some pictures. I never miss an excuse to get pictures of
Sedona. Absolutely, yeah. You know, the pink tour Jeep guys, these look like mountains in Sedona. And he says, no, they're not. They go on forever. And sure enough, it's like a big step.
Yeah.
There's my check fuel. Okay.
Perfect. That's the propeller I like.
Yeah.
That one's no good. It depends on the timing. With this 3-blade prop, it's kind of tricky to get a good one. The Cessna, you can get away with it. Taking pictures.
I think you got to slow it down to like 30. Well, this thing like 30 frames per minute.
Yeah.
It's becoming an arc, but they sell a filter. Actually, when I bought this cable, I bought it through Amazon.
They probably suggested it.
Well, no, but when they sent me the cable, they sent me. It was supposed to be one cable. They sent me a box of which was a dozen of them.
Wow.
Like $90 each. So I sent the guy a note, and I said, I said, I assume you just wanted to send me one cable and not 12. I said, but I said, what do you want me to do with these? I said, should I send them back? Do you want them back, or can I put them on eBay? And he answered me in like 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh, I bet.
Yeah. He was going to give me money too to send them back. I said,
wow. Yeah, I don't know. It happens.
Yeah.
Amazon, if it's shipped and sold by Amazon, they'll just let you keep it a lot of the time, depending on what it is, because it's cheaper for them to let you keep it.
Yeah.
Than it is to process the return. So.
This guy sent me a call tag and everything. I said, I'll ship it back if you send me a call tag. And he did.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if he's just brokering through Amazon, he's probably a small business. The last
yeah,
thing
he's
I
a small. Yeah, you don't want it.
6944 Alpha, contact Albuquerque Center 128.45.
We're about a half hour out from the Grand Canyon at this speed.
Yeah, okay.
Good day. Okay.
We should speed
Skyhawk
up.
626 Charlie Delta. I do see one target. Looks like they just departed the airport southwest.
That's Humphreys Peak by Flagstaff.
Okay, cool.
Okay, roger that. We'll be looking for that traffic 6 Charlie Delta.
Skyhawk 626 Charlie Delta, radar source terminates block 1200, frequency change is approved. Good day.
Rocket VFR frequency change approval. We'll talk to you on the way out, 6 Charlie Delta.
Bing, bing. Pitot heat required. We'd probably survive without it, but
I'm sure we could, but it'll
harass us. It will bother us.
10,000. 2633, thanks for Roger. You can expect vectors for visual approach runway 12 at Prescott.
These are some good views, huh, Nance?
Is there any way we could get the VOR approach?
I think I should have sat on that side.
012,
well, it's okay. It's good on this side, too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll expect the
side.
VOR 122633.
Phoenix approach 108 November Delta, level at 10,000.
Archer 108 November Delta, Phoenix approach, Prescott altimeter 3017.
Grab one off the left here.
I can take one for you if you want.
I think I pulled it off. Let's just wait for that to stop so it's not shaking.
Yeah, stop shaking the plane. I'm trying to take pictures.
Yeah, knock it off.
I'm trying to steer around those. That's
November
my...
Delta, Phoenix approach, Prescott altimeter 3017. Advise when you have weather for Sedona.
3017, we'll advise.
My instructor always says that. Steer around those. All right, I guess I could just stay wide open here unless you want me to pull the RPMs back.
Wide open works for me. 70% power is fine.
Oh, yeah, I need to be on the other side.
Cirrus 915 Tango Delta,
You can slide over if you
12
want.
o'clock, 8 miles,
I'm afraid.
southeastbound Cirrus 11500.
It's okay. You're getting
we'll keep an eye
pictures
for the
on that
traffic.
side.
Cirrus 920 Alpha Whiskey traffic 12 to 1 o'clock, 8 miles
somebody
northwestbound Cirrus
11.5.
10500.
Additional Cirrus.
Just straight ahead.
I'm not positive. He's around here somewhere, but I guess that's Sitgreaves Mountain ahead. That's at 9 or 4. So we might take a heading for a second and steer left.
7,800 VFR request.
Might be a decent climb. It's not a big deal, so.
I've skipped ahead here to just before we reached the Grand Canyon. There was probably about a half hour of flying that I left out, and it was mainly over desert areas, not a lot to see. So in the interest of time, I decided to shorten this up. As you can see ahead, the Grand Canyon is starting to come into view here. We're not allowed to fly over any part of the Grand Canyon at such a low altitude. Right here, we're about 11,500 feet, which is probably somewhere in the area of 3,000 feet above the ground. The Grand Canyon is a national park, as everybody knows, and back in the 60s and 70s, it was unrestricted to fly over there, and there ended up being a lot of noise and a lot of people flying low, and it wasn't a very good experience for the millions of people who visit the canyon every year. So they decided to limit the private flights over the canyon to certain areas, and we're going to fly through one of those areas. It's called a VFR corridor. It's defined by 2 waypoints, which is just the points in space that you can fly to. They're defined on our GPS. For us, we're lucky that we can program them into the airplane and have a magenta line to follow through this corridor. This corridor is about 4 nautical miles wide, which really isn't that wide, but it allows us to experience flying over the canyon Canyon, and there's several of them. We chose to fly across one, then fly back. After we do that, we're going to land at the Grand Canyon Airport.
Oh, wow.
About 20 miles across.
We still haven't slowed down, really.
No, not a whole lot. Enough. It'll give us a little bit of extra time. That's all right.
And good afternoon, LA. Airport 461 Delta Foxtrot 230. 461 Delta Foxtrot, Elation, roger. Descend pilot discretion, maintain pilot 210.
That's awesome.
Discretion down 210.
1 Delta Foxtrot, let me know to get the latest Kingman weather state type approach requested.
Roger that, I haven't picked it up yet, but expecting the visual for Delta Foxtrot.
1 Delta Fox, roger.
Cameras everywhere.
I know.
Everybody's going ballistic. Wow.
Oh, I didn't even see the side.
Too mesmerized by the other side.
Yeah, I've been just doing the other side.
Yeah, me too. I just figured it out.
Okay, we're still going 130 knots.
Well, the issue is we're doing 170 across the ground. So the true airspeed and the tailwind.
Oh no, but we're at
Delta Foxtrot does have a 1 minute weather, expecting visual.
55%,
1 Delta
54%
Fox,
power.
roger.
Yeah. This is just incredible. Modern technology. I'm getting a phone call.
I just sent a text.
And you know what? That's my college asking for money.
Yeah, I just sent a text to my kids, and I got a spam call earlier.
Yeah, they can bother me for money, and I'm over the Grand Canyon
Yeah,
at 11,000 feet.
that is awesome.
Here, if you wouldn't mind snapping some, that would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah, 'cause I can't get that side. Good.
A clean
No,
lens.
I gotta wipe the lens there. It lives in a pocket, so it'll stop complaining.
F5 Tango Delta, once you cleared the corridor, the airspace, you're just going to reverse course, go back through Dragon to go to Grand Canyon?
Affirmative, that's our intention. 5 Tango Delta.
Okay.
How do I flip this back around?
Center password 23, we're leaving now, flight level 210 down to 17,000.
Password T3, roger, and advise when you cancel.
And you can, with the ×2 there, you can zoom in a little bit. Sometimes you get a good picture that way. If you just, if you just tap that to get rid of that, hang on just 1 second. It's got to like think about it for a second. There you go, see the X2 right there, just tap it. There you go, it's got a separate camera for that.
Okay.
So.
What kind of phone is this?
It's a Samsung, it's the Note.
Nice. I had a G6. Was it
Yeah.
G6? Samsung, whatever, S6 maybe.
They make nice phones, I like them.
Okay, I snapped a bunch.
Yeah, I appreciate
a
it.
few good ones.
Thank you, sir. Actually, I don't even know why I bothered. We're going to turn around.
Yeah, that's
I'm going to be
true.
able to get...
We'll be able to get the other side now.
Boy, and they let me fly airplanes.
Me too.
I'll be, yeah. Yikes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
That is amazing.
Oh, and look, it drops off over there. Is that part of the canyon?
Boy, I don't know.
That might
I
be,
don't think so, 'cause
that's Utah, right? Or Colorado? Colorado.
I wouldn't even know.
Yeah. Should have paid attention in those,
Geography
classes.
class, yeah.
Now, can we go outside the corridor and turn around, or
we can, yeah.
we'll go a little bit by it, and that way we won't hit it?
Yeah, well, I mean, we got plenty of room if we want to make a teardrop, or we can proceed outbound. It's going to be extra bit of a trip there, but not a huge deal. Let me see if I can measure that real quick. Where's that other point? There it is. So it's another couple miles, but we can just get outside the SFRA.
It's beyond the point?
Yeah, well, it's just a little right here. So we just get outside the blue, loop around, head back inbound.
All right, yeah. Better
No
safe
big
than
deal.
sorry.
Yeah, as long as he tells us we can do it, I don't really care.
Yeah.
So that's all
There's a 21 November Victor, LA Center, cross Zig at 12,000, 250 knots, Las Vegas altimeter 3006.
Big at 12,000, 250 knots, 21 November Victor.
Have you landed at this airport before?
Center, Pac Valley 8798,
never been.
Fly far terminate service.
We're about to.
Pac Valley 8798, Roger, RPS, C radar services, permits box 1200.
And I compressed the video as we flew out from the Grand Canyon. We turned around and we came back through the passage. I've slowed it down here. The lighting isn't quite as good. We're flying into the sun now, heading towards the south. So I'm going to let this run here. We're going to get to the edge of the rim, and then we'll start our descent to land at the Grand Canyon Airport.
Parachute tripping in effect within a 1/2 nautical mile radius of the Grand Canyon Airport.
And identifier lights out, parachute jumping activity.
Hazardous weather information available on high
And then a bunch of nav stuff, which we don't care about. The remote outlets out of service, but we're not picking up a clearance here, so.
Yeah, here's your chance for pictures.
Oh, wow.
Delta 875, contact Las Vegas approach 125.6. Good day.
25.6, good day, Delta 875.
Guess the kids got my text, huh, Nance?
Yeah, I already texted them too.
Somebody under us going faster than us.
How dare he? The nerve. Here, let me get...
November 7269 Tango, contact Las Vegas approach 125.6. 25.6, good day.
25.6 for Las Vegas approach.
Oh, it's a helicopter. I got him in safe.
You got him down there?
We're catching him. We're catching him. That's cool.
Go strike 5-2 from Mora Mesa. At Mesa 12,000, 12,000, Las Vegas altimeter 3006.
Mora Mesa 12,000, 3006. Go strike 5-2. Cool. I think we'll probably just proceed outbound for a little bit. I don't want to turn direct inbound because we'll need to hand off of center.
We need to get down too. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to just. We'll just continue this heading for a little bit to get established and come back inbound.
And that's the airport over there.
Yep, that should be it. Yeah, I see the tower.
Okay.
I never agree to that until I see something that says airport, right? So I see the control tower now. I'd say that's an airport, not just power lines or something silly.
November 5 Tango Delta, looks like Grand Canyon Airport off your 10 o'clock in about 7 miles. You're doing a full stop there, correct?
Affirmative, full stop there. We have the field site and information pop-up. 5 Tango Delta.
5 Tango Delta, roger that, sir. Radar services service, block 1200, and go and contact Grand Canyon Tower at 119.0. You have a good day.
1190, we'll squawk VFR and give them a call. 5 Tango Delta, thanks. All right. Cool.
Cap 17, can't tell roger.
He sounds serious. Grand Canyon Tower, Cirrus 9015 Tango Delta, 10,500 just out of Dragon Corridor, looking for a full stop information pop-up.
Cirrus 9015 Tango Delta, Grand Canyon Tower. Report midfield right downwind for runway 21.
Report midfield right downwind for 21, 5 Tango Delta. We're just going to proceed just a little southbound to lose some altitude here before heading inbound.
Cirrus 5 Tango Delta, maneuvers as necessary to lose your altitude are approved.
Thank you, sir. All right, you're in charge. We're good into their airspace. We'll report right midfield downwind. You do what you got to do.
We're already at 53%.
So we're not quite on the next leg yet. So it's going to start turning us here. So.
All right, I want to get into heading mode. Heading. There we are now. We're on our way down. Okay. Settle down.
Copter 20, can't tell, Roger.
Altimeter. Maybe. 4. Good.
Already got ground in there. Boy, you're ahead of it. I don't need to check up on you.
Alright, for some reason my FMS isn't clicking through.
Oh, it's here. There you go. Big knob. Yep, it just wasn't highlighted.
Oh, thank you. Altimeter good. Cabin is required. Landing light is still on. Fuel system check. We're on the fullest tank. Mixture is required.
Copter 60, can't tell, produce glass southwest, cross 21.
Brake pressure's good on my side.
Check my boys. Yeah, we're good.
And Copter 60, do you know if your company 11 landed?
Okay. What's going on here? Where's my exit button?
You're in the,
Roger,
the issue is you ended up in
don't remember giving clearance, I probably did.
in the checklist that way. I think you just scrolled to it, so you didn't have your exit button.
Yeah.
So if we scroll you to the map and go to the checklist, then you have the exit button.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so at 9600. Runway 210. What did you say to enter again?
What was that?
What did you say to enter for the...
Oh, just enter right,
affirmative.
right downwind, report midfield.
Alright. Okay.
I don't blame you.
Sorry about that.
Oh, here. Uh-oh, my headset batteries died. Bummer. I'll change it. I got more. I'll change them on the ground.
Okay.
If you want the yaw damper, you can kick it back on.
That's fine.
But
Let's keep going down though. Quite that fast. Actually, I'm going to do another circle here.
Copter 17, procedures requested.
Oh, you think we're good?
yeah, you can probably pull it off if we have to. We can do a circle at midfield. At least then we're not, if he has departures or something, that way we're in a good spot.
Alright.
And here's where my inexperience in the 22 shows a little bit. We're high, we're moving much faster than a 20,
Okay,
and I felt like I was high for
on.
the pattern for
Mixture,
the Grand Canyon.
more.
Fortunately with this airplane, the initial flap speed is 150 knots versus 119 knots for the 20. So I end up putting those in, and we get down without popping anyone's ears.
Alright, looks like we're going to be pretty good on the altitude. There's our blue line.
Yeah.
And I just want to interrupt here and show pictures of the actual route we flew. This is from Google Earth. This is the overall route, and this is over the Grand Canyon. It shows the loop there. This is the loop back to the Grand Canyon Airport, and this is the actual Grand Canyon Airport shot of it.
Close run I'd like, but it works out fine.
Okay. We're on the...
I'll call him at midfield. He said midfield, so I'll just give him just a second here. If you want to take the comms, you can.
No, you can do it. That's fine. I'm going to put some flaps in.
Grand Canyon Tower, Cirrus 5 Tango Delta coming up on midfield.
Cirrus 5 Tango Delta, wind variable at 6, or runway 21, clear to land.
Clear to land 21, 915 Tango Delta.
Cirrus 5 Tango Delta, remain at or above 7,200 until established on final for level helicopters.
Roger, at or above 7,200 until established on final, 5 Tango Delta. Interesting.
I see him right there.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, I think.
Okay. Still not down.
That's alright.
We'll extend downwind here.
That's a very low level helicopter.
Pop 20, proceeds quested.
22 Rich.
Yeah, I'd have that.
Pop 4, proceeds quested
That's
on Pop.
probably good.
Okay.
I was pretty happy. Cause we're at we're gonna be at 6,000 feet altitude landing.
Alright. We're still way high.
Yeah, we've got down to 7.2, so use it.
Pop 4, roger.
Alright. Probably snag the full flaps, that'll help us get down.
Okay, we good speed?
Yep, we're within the white arc.
Okay.
Get a couple extra knots on the 20, so.
Alright.
Altitude.
Alright, 4 whites, that's okay. It's within the realm of reason, I say. 90 knots, that's pretty good. Now established on final, we're okay for our descent. Like that we kept it high, make the controllers happy. Yaw dampers off, mixture's appropriate.
$500.
We got a long runway here too.
Yeah, I'd be letting it down here.
There we go, coming in now.
That's it, now I'm happy.
You're happy, I'm happy.
Mark 22, proceeds quested.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Oh, we floated a little bit there. Still good on the speed, high as a kite. Guess it has been a while since I've flown one of these.
That's alright. Worked out okay. Start stepping your flaps up for you here.
Thank you. I don't know if we can make this.
Okay, yeah, we got it. It's a nice wide taxiway.
Canyon Tower, good afternoon, Canyon 86, at the river, inbound landing with Papa.
Canyon 86, Grand Canyon Tower, report the sighting runway 21.
5 for 21, 86.
Cirrus 5 Tango Delta, turn left onto taxiway Papa. You'll be parking in rows 10 through 14. Numbers will be off your right wing between the dash lines or on the fence line.
Left on Papa, rows 10 through 14. 915 Tango Delta, thank you.
Cirrus 5 Tango Delta, once established in parking, Unicom 122.95 for fuel and ride.
2295, 5 Tango Delta, thanks for the help. He's given that speech a couple times.
I'm going to end this video here. That was my first landing in an SR-22 in a couple months. I thought it went pretty well. Nothing broken, and it actually was a pretty smooth landing. I did float a little bit at the end. My airspeed was a little high. I did get to land again back at Scottsdale. I nailed the airspeed, and it settled in beautifully. My plan is to get checked out in this aircraft so I can fly it solo, the SR-22. I may or may not be videoing that. If I do video it, I'll put it up here. My adventure in the Grand Canyon was great. I loved it. I highly recommend it to anybody, pilot or non-pilot. You can go to a place like Scottsdale Executive Aviation and ask them. I'd call ahead to do it, but ask them if you can take a scenic flight. They'll let you go in a aircraft like the SR-22 with an instructor, and you'll even get to manipulate the controls. These instructors are really good at that. May or may not let you do a landing, but those are a little more involved. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do like it, please leave me a thumbs up at the bottom, and take care until the next time.
Alright, there's 17. take 12. So it's a little closer. So that'll be this right. Or 13, I guess we're in the middle. That's fine. I just follow this.
14, you want to take this right here?
Yeah, we'll take this.
And
Right,
Tower, Canvey
right
86,
in the middle.
Canvey 6, wind, variable at 5, runway 21 clear to land.
Park on the end, or park down there.
Actually, Tower, can I get runway 3?
Actually, we'll get away from
Yeah.
traffic.
Cop 7, Kane Tower, roger. Canvey 6, say again.
Request runway 3. Grand Canyon.
How good is the bird track?